UNI catcher Courtney Dunker has hit some huge bombs the last several seasons for the Panthers, but she brings a lot more to the UNI lineup besides the threat of taking the ball deep over the fence. Here is Panther Sports Talk's Brad Wells with a feature on Northern Iowa's power hitter Courtney Dunker.
One of the 8 seniors on this year's Panther softball team has earned the respect of opposing pitchers over the last couple seasons. Leading the UNI team in home runs over the last 2 years is reason enough for Courtney Dunker to be a must-watch at-bat for her teammates, Panther fans, and a scary moment for the competition.
Dunk makes our lineup scary. I mean, she's one of those kids where, you know, as an opposing coach, I'm sure that every time she comes up and every time she's on deck, they're wondering about what's our next move, what are we going to do, which creates a lot of opportunity for the people around her.
In her sophomore season, Courtney led UNI with 14 home runs on the year and ranked second in slugging percentage, RBIs, and total bases. Last season as a junior, she again ripped the team high home runs and was awarded a team best 34 base on balls, proof that her threat of the long ball was gaining respect.
Yeah, she's always been a really critical part of our team and a huge part of a lot of the wins that we have just in her RBIs and home runs, and she's a great first baseman, so that's something that she's added to the list of things that she can do. You
know, it's really scary for other teams when they're facing her and they're facing the people around her. I mean, she makes, you know, 1, 2, and 3 better and 5, 6, and 7 better when she's going well. So.
This season, Courtney has already hit 3 round trippers, putting her just 5 home runs away from breaking the UNI school record for home runs in a career. And she's hoping that her hard work in the offseason will help her and her team have a bang-up season.
I think a lot has to do with like the weight room and how hard we've been working this season. Courtney and Scott, our strength trainers, have been pushing us to the limits. Like, I've been lifting more than I thought I could lift. I hit a PR this year, never thought my senior year that would happen. And then getting the extra work in the hitting shed. We used wood bats this season, so I think that definitely had an impact on how power-wise, I guess, and knowing what pitches to swing at and having a more selective but aggressive approach at the plate.
All her hard work and her mental approach could result in more at-bats that end with making great contact.
It's basically, I can't explain it. Like, it just, you know when you hit it well. And that's probably the best feeling. Sometimes I'm really pumped up and I run as fast as I can around the bases, but sometimes I'm like taking a nice relaxed jog around. It just all depends on like the momentum that's building. And
she also brings a solid presence to the Panther defense. She's a strong catcher that gives great support to the pitching staff. And Courtney has the ability to move over and play first base when needed.
Just her confidence, and like when she calls pitches, I know that she's confident in me throwing them, so it makes me excited to throw them.
For the most part, Coach Gertis, she will do the scouting and put together like the reports and everything for us, and then if we have any questions, we can always go to her, and we kind of, before games, we'll talk about which batter is hot, like how they're doing, what their tendencies are.
It's kind of like, you know, 3 positions really, because as a catcher, you got to focus on the pitching staff, you got to focus on your own offensive skills, hitting in the cage, and then you got to focus on one more position at first base. So she spends a lot of time, you know, making sure that all of her skills are where they need to be, and she's a hard worker. And I don't think without that work ethic you could get it done.